Hello, folks. Mike's MMA picks right back at you here with a bantamweight fight at UFC Vegas 81, where we have this should put fannies in the seats. Everybody should be glued in for this one. We've got Jonathan Martinez taking on Adrian Yanez. Yes, I heard the recent pronunciation correction on a podcast. Adrian Yanez. Yanez coming in as a minus 110 fighter. Both of these fighters is a pick 'em across the board. Yanez, 29 years of age, 16-4 overall record. Both of these fighters have identical reach. I know if you go to the Tapology page, you'll see a bit of a discrepancy between the UFC official page, but we're going to roll with 70-inch reach on either side of the fight. Jonathan Martinez, primarily a kicker, somebody who has solid cardio, someone who, if you exchange with him in the pocket, he is susceptible. We've seen that against Alejandro Turbo Perez. We also have seen in recent fights the Cub Swanson matchup. I know Martinez got his leg kicks going early and often, was able to cause Cub Swanson fits there, but also in the pocket when he was trading Cub Swanson, elder statesman, who dropped a weight class to 135 pounds. That did not fare well for Cub Swanson, but he was able to land at times on Martinez, and Martinez got the finish there. Seemed to bully Swanson around throughout that fight, but you could see if someone's able to engage in the pocket with Martinez, he can be had there. And you have Yanez, who's coming in here off of the horrific knockout loss to Rob Font, where he has trouble with fighters who have the long jab. We saw against Randy Costa. Costa was able to just pepper Yanez at will multiple times throughout the fight. And then Yanez, over the course of time, is able to gauge distance and find his way. Now, this fight takes place inside of the Apex, which is the smaller octagon. And you hear the expression crowd the kicker often. And this is a matchup where, yes, Adrian Yanez is going to have to crowd Martinez here. Martinez fights out of a solid camp at Factory X. He also has Chris Gutierrez, who's fighting on this same card as well. So training partners fighting on the same card, they're ready to go. This is a fantastic matchup by the UFC. I'm glad it's happening. You listen to Adrian Yanez's interviews and lead up to this matchup, and he wants to be a more cerebral fighter. He's planning to respond when the kicks from Martinez are headed his way. You go back and watch Martinez against Davy Grant. He can get caught on the feet. I know they have a mutual opponent here. Yanez also fought Davy Grant to a very closely fought decision. A lot of folks thought that Yanez lost that fight to Davy Grant, but that was a fantastic matchup. And you saw the cardio of Yanez on display there as well. So I expect these two young men to be trading in the pocket, and Martinez is probably going to try to stay evasive, use his footwork, and to me, the footwork is going to be the difference maker here. And I think that Yanez is going to be able to, he's got to watch out for the kicks and the changing of levels for Martinez. He could throw low kicks. He could come up top. He goes to the body. And also the flying knee. The flying knees of Martinez are a factor here. So you've got the more well-rounded fighter in Martinez, and he's taking on Yanez, who has the much more crisp boxing. And I keep going back to the Thomas Almeida fight also, where Martinez, anytime he gets in the pocket, he can get caught. I know Martinez ended up winning that fight. So we talked the Almeida fight. We talked the Turbo Perez fight. We talked a little bit about Cub Swanson. We talked about Rob Font. We talked about Davy Grant. You watched the Said Nurmagomedov fight against Jonathan Martinez. Martinez, he showed us that grit, what he's made of, and how he could push the pace late. And that was a fight that a lot of folks had Said Nurmagomedov winning. Martinez was a little bit more active, and you saw Said, his cardio has failed him in a number of spots, and that was another place where it did. You go back and watch the Tony Kelly fight also. I believe that was a situation where you had Yanez at his best. And I believe here off this layoff, you're going to see a more cerebral fighter in Yanez, who's going to be trying to use his footwork, cut Martinez off, respond as these kicks are headed his way, and crowd the kicker. That's what it's going to come down to. I believe that Yanez is the better spot here from a betting perspective. I got in at -105, risking 1 unit, and I'm going to be picking Adrian Yanez to walk away victorious here. But it is a closely aligned fight for a reason, and it would not surprise me to see Martinez possibly get up on the scorecards early using his footwork. But I keep going back to that Alejandro Perez fight where Turbo, elder statesman of the division, I don't even know if Perez is still with the UFC anymore. I don't believe he is. Was able to get off on Martinez and drop him. And if Martinez is using his hands, then that's not his strength. His strength is his kicking game. And I believe that Yanez is going to be able to find the target here and walk away victorious. So Adrian Yanez is going to be the pick. And thank you for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel here, that would be a big help. We are putting out a tremendous amount of content. The arrows pointed up. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy this card. It's a banger of a fight card, especially at the main event of the evening as well. We'll put out a number of videos in the near future. Take care and have a blessed day. Yes, let's do this.